One of the best things about living in Munich is that you're only 1 hour away from the Alps by train or by car. But for some reason, because life just gets in the way, I never seem to make it out there. And so one night I decided, okay, tomorrow is the day. I'm gonna pack my things and we're gonna drive out there. And this is what we did. So the night before, I packed up all the stuff we'd be needing: water, food, sunglasses, money, power bank, deo, sunscreen, and more food. So we started our drive at 9 a.m. the next day towards Tegernsee, which took about an hour. We picked out a route the night before to the Wallberg, which is one of the most popular routes, and we figured since it was so popular, the chances of us getting lost would be less likely, and it was also labeled an easy hike, which is exactly what we wanted because we just wanted to breathe in the fresh air and get out into nature. The further away from the city we got, the more traditional the houses became, the more cows and horses we saw, and the more greenery surrounded us. The landscape can only be described as idyllic. The starting point of the hike also happened to be a gondola station for those who chose not to hike but just to enjoy the view. We chose the route of more resistance and began hiking up. As was promised us online, the Anstieg, or the ascent, was quite challenging. It became very vertical very fast, and we ascended very quickly. To be fair, we were full of energy and we were excited to start seeing the views, so we did go at quite a fast pace. Pretty quickly, we were able to start seeing a glimpse of Tegernsee, of the valley, and of the lake. It was quite a crisp morning, and that paired with the fresh air was just so energizing. After about 30 minutes, we decided to take a short water break because there was a bench where we could just sit and admire all of the mountains and trees surrounding us, and I thought it was perfect to have some coffee here. We found some gems along the way, like this little hut with running water. Seemed like the perfect place to sit and read, but we had to continue on our mission to reach the summit. Once we saw this sign, I knew that things would start getting exciting. These are 12 rules on how to interact with wild animals. That, paired with the distant ringing of bells and mooing, I knew that we were in for something. As we started nearing around 1,000 meters of elevation, the trees started clearing and we started to see the summit. We caught a glimpse of the panorama house and started seeing more people walking around us. What really caught our attention, though, was this hang glider. Right as he was about to jump, a thick fog started rolling in, but this man knows no fear and he jumped anyways. To me, this scene just seems like it's out of a fairy tale. So, some 3 hours later, we finally got to the top of the gondola station. We knew there was a summit cross somewhere and we wanted to get there, so we kept walking. Turns out we had to surmount this big pile of rocks first, and for someone who has fear of heights, this was quite a challenge. As we started getting closer to the cross, the fog just started getting thicker and thicker. While it was quite a shame that we couldn't see the 360-degree view of the landscape, it was quite a sight to see this fog that just kept rolling in and just covered everything in sight. Luckily, the cross was still visible and majestic as ever. As people started clearing because of the fog, we thought that this would be the perfect, peaceful place to have lunch. I'd packed sandwiches, we had this muesli bar, which really wasn't that good, an apple, some warm coffee because it was getting quite cold, and lots of water. We stayed on the summit hoping that the fog would eventually clear up. We were even joined by our little wasp buddy, even at 1,700 meters, probably looking for something to eat. Sadly, the fog only got worse, and so we started our descent, but not before getting some postcards. At this point, the cows had migrated over to our path. We had front row seats to hear and to see them in all their glory. My favorite part about this path were all of the benches that were strategically placed at clearings of trees so that you could sit and enjoy the view. At this point, my knees and my glutes were killing me, so I was really grateful to start walking down those last few steps. I'm definitely a beach girl and I haven't been to the ocean in so long, so being next to this lake was definitely very soothing. So even though we didn't get to spend a lot of time in it or around it, the proximity was just very meditative and helped me feel grounded. We whipped up a quick chili because that seemed like the hiker thing to do, and this was very nourishing. I was too tired to do a proper stretch, so here you see me just stretching out my feet and trying to get the lactic acid out. And I was so tired that I had some tea and I passed out at 9:30. I'll definitely be seeing you pretty soon again, Tegernsee. Bye!